You read the best-selling productivity planners. You take weekend communication seminars. You try every scheduling life hack. And yet you still end the week completely burned out, managing relationships that feel flat and entirely transactional. You are doing everything right, but the underlying problems never actually go away. Our modern culture is obsessed with the quick fix, the psychological band-aid that promises maximum results with minimum effort. But if you look back at the success literature published prior to World War I, you find a different approach to human achievement. For over a century, success was defined by the character ethic. The focus was entirely on developing a deep internal foundation, things like integrity, humility, courage, and the golden rule. The premise was simple. You only experience enduring success as you integrate these principles into your nature. But after the First World War, the view of success shifted toward the personality ethic. Achievement became a function of public image. It became about learning specific communication techniques, projecting a positive mental attitude, and acquiring skills to influence other people. This approach defines success as a methodology rather than a way of life. Using influence techniques to get people to like you while your underlying character remains insincere eventually breeds severe distrust. When the foundation isn't there, your actions are perceived as manipulation. Take a look at this street map showing the grid layout of central Chicago. Imagine you need to find a destination, but you're having trouble. You could double your speed or force a positive attitude, but neither effort nor outlook will get you there. The problem isn't your effort. The problem is that, due to a printing error, you are holding a map of Detroit. This map is a paradigm. It's our mental map of reality, the lens through which we interpret the world. We rarely question the accuracy of these maps. We simply assume that the way we see things is the way they really are. If your mental map is wrong, efficiency is irrelevant. Chronic life problems cannot be solved by changing attitude or behavior. They can only be solved by correcting the maps that created them. Our conditioning dictates our perception so deeply that two people can look at the exact same facts and see a different reality. We see the world not as it is, but as we are conditioned to see it. When we finally examine the lens itself, we experience an aha moment. It is the instant the images we've been conditioned to see fall away, allowing the actual territory to come into focus. A classic example comes from a battleship captain leading a training squadron through heavy weather. Shortly after dark, a lookout reported a steady light directly on their starboard bow, meaning they were on a dangerous collision course. The captain signaled the oncoming ship. "We are on a collision course. Advise you change course 20 degrees. The flashing light replied, "Advisable for you to change course 20 degrees. Furious, the captain sent, "I am a captain. Change course." The reply came back, "I am a seaman second class. You had better change course." Enraged, the captain spat out his final warning, "I'm a battleship. Change course." The final flashing light responded, "I am a lighthouse." Principles are the lighthouses of human behavior. They are natural laws woven into the fabric of every civilized society, unyielding rules like fairness and integrity that exist regardless of our conditioning. You cannot break these laws. You can only break yourself against them. Lasting effectiveness requires us to abandon our subjective, ego-driven maps and align our paradigms with these immovable natural laws. This scale balances P, the production of desired results, and PC, the asset that produces those results. Like the impatient farmer who killed his magical goose to get all the gold at once, focusing entirely on short-term results inevitably destroys the asset that produces them. This law governs human assets too. You can squeeze an employee with zero maintenance to hit a short-term quarterly target. You can yell at a child to force immediate obedience so a room gets cleaned. In both cases, you get the golden egg today, but you damage the relationship that makes future cooperation possible. Effectiveness is never a shortcut. It is the discipline of balancing your desire for short-term results with the long-term health of the asset itself. Aligning your map with reality demands an inside-out approach. You cannot improve your teamwork, communication, or public relationships until you have first secured the private victories of mastering your own character. To do this, you have to confront a massive societal myth: deterministic paradigms. This is the belief that your genetics, your upbringing, or your current boss are entirely responsible for the situation you are in. The flaw in that determinism was laid bare by Viktor Frankl. Frankl was a psychiatrist who found himself imprisoned in the death camps of Nazi Germany. He was stripped of his family, his career, and every physical liberty imaginable. But sitting in a cell, Frankl recognized a power the guards could never touch. They could control his entire physical environment, but they could not control his response to it. Between the stimulus and his reaction to it, there was a gap. And in that gap lay the last human freedom, the ability to choose. This internal power is proactivity. It begins the moment we stand in the space between stimulus and response and choose a path based on values rather than raw impulse. You can hear determinism in the way we naturally speak. Phrases like, "I have to do this," or "he makes me so mad," are surrenders of agency. They assume that the environment dictates our behavior. As long as you believe the problem is out there, that very thought is the problem. True success begins the exact moment you stop blaming the territory and take absolute responsibility for your own map.